So it's now time to talk about the differences between the book and the film. And there are a few, but I've chosen the most important ones. The first one, and the one that you'll notice immediately, is that the film starts with the title of the book. And we know that this is not something that Skeeter came up with, but I think it was Abeline in the book who came up with the word help. Now, there's also a difference. In the film, it's the help. In the book, it's help. Another minor difference is that Skeeter did not take the rejection letter from Harper and Row to her interview at the Jackson Journal. Another very important thing that's different in the book than the film is the entire Constantine scene. So remember when I talked about the fracas between Constantine's daughter and Skeeter's mother? In the film, this is completely different. In the film, she gets in and appears in front of people and those kinds of things. Whereas in the book, it's really a scene in which she behaves in a particular way. And in the film, she's not that light-skinned. She's a very black woman. Now, this might be because of casting or whatever other reason, but I think they changed something that is a bit vital. I think the difference is that since she is from the northern part of the country, right, she moved to Chicago, that maybe the segregation there was different. I don't know, but that's what I interpreted from the book. Whereas in the film, this doesn't really become clear. It's just that she gets into the house and then they have some argument or something. So I like the book version more because that really shows that she is from a different part of the country. She's been raised differently. She thinks differently about segregation. And the film doesn't show this. Also, in the film, Constantine gets fired as well. And that's not something that really happens in the book. It's not very clear whether Skeeter's mother fires Constantine as well. Another difference is that the daughter is called Rachel in the film, whereas she's called Lullabelle in the book. There's also a difference in the way Skeeter and Stewart behave in the film and in the book. There are some differences here. Now, they are not very important, they are not vital, but it is something to keep in mind. Then there's another minor difference, and that's the mother's health. I think they did this for a reason to make it a bit more pleasurable to watch, but in the book I really get the idea that the mother is ill, right? She behaves in a particular way, she's very fragile, Skeeter behaves in a different way, and I think that's something that doesn't really appear in the film that much. Another thing that's missing in the film is something that I think is very important to the way Abeline behaves, is that we miss the way she plays games and she tells stories to Mae Mobley. So as I mentioned in the summary and both in the characters video, Abeline kind of plays games and tells stories to Mae Mobley to change the way she looks at white and black people. So she really wants to put emphasis on the fact that white and black people are actually the same. Now this does not appear in the film at all. There's no indication of this, and I think that's a pity. I think they should have added this as well. Finally, there are some Celia related things that are different. So first of all, the encounter between Celia's husband Johnny and Minnie is not in the film, or it is in the film but in a very minor way. We also don't know that it's important, right? She mentions that she doesn't want her husband to know, but I think they could have done a bit more to really spice things up. I think they could have kind of indicated a bit more that she doesn't want her husband to know about the help. And finally, we don't know about the scene with the naked man that doesn't appear in the film. Now, you might understand why, because they don't want to put naked people on camera. But I think it is an important moment in the book, and it's a pity that they didn't put it in the film. We also don't see in the film how she got a miscarriage. We also know that she got a miscarriage. We don't, in the book you read about how Minnie has to get the baby out of the toilet. This doesn't happen in the film. It is kind of weird, right? I know it's a very sad and very weird scene, but it is something that really kind of shows the way these help kind of work. And I think that's something that we miss in the film. So, is the film any good? Is it worth watching? Yes. I think that Viola Davis did a good job playing Abeline. Now, in my imagination, which is something that happens when you read the book, I had someone slightly older in mind than Viola Davis. But I think she did a good job, and the other acting was good as well. Is Emma Stone the right person to play Skeeter? Yes and no. I think what really plays an important role in the book is the fact that Skeeter is so different, right? She is, she has longer hair, she is longer, she isn't as pretty as the other girls. Whereas, Emma Stone is pretty of herself. So, casting Emma Stone for someone who shouldn't be pretty, I think that's difficult. But I think overall the film is okay. It's not the best version of the book. And I know people are more fond of the film, I think, than the book. Maybe you're not, let me know in the comments. But I think overall they did an okayish job to portray this book.